In this episode of the Investor.Exchange Zoom course, we're going to be talking about hybrid events. They're all the rage post-COVID, where you have shareholders both physically present and online. But hybrid events need a different skill set again from the annual general meetings that you ran before COVID or during the pandemic. And there are three reasons why. First, empathy. Second, technology. And third, interactivity. Let's talk first about empathy. Now, the fact is that if you are speaking only to an online audience, there's no problem, it's fine. It's just like the AGMs you held during the pandemic when everybody was just joining you through your online platform, perhaps Zoom or another platform. But now that we're back in a hybrid environment, that is going to change. Imagine if you only looked at the camera like you did during the pandemic. What is your physically present audience going to say? If you only talk to your online audience, they might feel left out. But the same goes for your physically present audience and your online audience watching as if they were silent observers, like a fly on the wall, not really part of the proceedings. Your physically present shareholders will be delighted that you're spending so much attention on them, but your online audience is going to feel left out. And so juggling the two is really something that you as the chairman or chief executive need to get used to. The old principle applies that if you leave them out, they will tune you out. So you have to be able to cater slightly more to your online audience because they don't have the benefit of meeting you before or after the AGM. They're not physically present. Maybe they don't have your good food to eat. Whereas your physically present audience obviously has those benefits. So you can spend slightly less time looking at them and interacting with them than your online audience. There's also a chance that your online audience is slightly larger, so it makes sense to spend more time on them. That now leads me to the second point, and that is technology. Now, perhaps you're running a video, you're playing back a video of your sustainability initiative, the year that was, some other form of insert. Maybe it's just the PowerPoint slides. The question is whether both your audiences are able to see it. Now that sounds fairly self-explanatory, but is it? How many times have you seen this, in fact, in events that you've attended in the last 2 or 3 years, where a physically present audience was perfectly able to hear what was going on, but your online audience couldn't? Or maybe the other way around, your online audience was perfectly able to see and hear the video play, but your physically present audience wasn't. And so getting the technology right can sometimes be surprisingly difficult. You want to work with a subject matter expert who knows what they're doing. And that brings me finally to the point about interactivity. Now, an AGM like this is obviously meant for interactivity. It's all about shareholders voting on resolutions. It's about shareholders being able to ask questions. But again, here we have problems with the hybrid event because your physically present shareholders might just be able to raise their hand and pose their question verbally to you. But what about your online audience? How are they going to do that? Similarly, if you arrange for an interactivity platform for your online audience so that they can vote electronically, ask questions electronically, your physically present audience might wonder why they can't just raise their hand and ask a question. Ideally, you would actually have everybody use the same platforms. That way, everybody feels that they have an equal voice, and you have less worry trying to tabulate results from votes that are coming in through different systems. So, in short, when you're running your hybrid AGM, be sure to have empathy for your disparate audiences. Make sure you pay attention to both in equal measure, slightly favoring your online audience. Ensure that you're able to get the videos played, that the technology works, and everybody is able to see and hear whatever you're presenting, no matter where they're dialing in from or if they're physically present. And make sure that all shareholders have the same access to you through the same platform for voting and for questions. So, if you'd like more information on any of these, join us at Investor Exchange. Drop us an email at the address on your screen now.